Good afternoon.
Hi, everybody.
I'm Jasmine.
I'm Andrea.
And we're Natural Be Ewe Yarns.
We are.
This is Sunday Sip and Stitch, our podcast. Okay, cheers.
Cheers.
I hope you have something to stitch.
And something to sip.
Mm-hmm.
We are having tea and coffee out of our new mugs.
Yes. Andrea was so lucky she won this Mother's Day prize giveaway from
Wabi Scotia.
Wabi Scotia Pottery. Yeah, that's Amy from Wabi Scotia Pottery.
I really like this mug.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like mountains and
I know, it's
trees.
like from a Christmas collection.
But it could also be the ocean, right? The waves.
No, I definitely think it's trees. She made trees.
Yeah, okay.
But this one's the ocean. She also has a series of ocean-inspired pottery.
Now, the funny thing about that is somebody said yesterday that they thought it looked like pine trees in the snow.
Well, I don't know.
Which is also a cool interpretation, right?
It is.
Because then it would be great with hot chocolate in it in the winter.
Sure. She gave a whole series of things.
Oh my God.
From little serving dishes and side. I feel like this is for like your
Sushi.
tea bag or your sushi, and you're dipping in your soy sauce.
Because of the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
if you're serving little nuts, it's perfect. So there was like a whole collection we got. And this mug is special because it's a lefty mug. The imprint for your thumb is on the left-hand side.
And the one that I have here is ambidextrous.
Right.
And that one there is...
the right-handed one. This is another technique of hers. She does this bubble glaze. And that's seen in the serving platter and the bowl as well. So we just wanted to give a big shout out to Wabi Scotia Pottery for the fantastic giveaway. What a lucky...
Thank you so much, Amy. It was, it's like blows me away how much we actually received.
Yes.
Yeah.
And on that note...
And how beautiful it is. Like, you know, I keep going on about how much there is, but it's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. And on that note of thanks and gratitude, we should also probably mention that we did a bit of a fundraiser last month.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're waiting to actually do the final figures on that.
Mm-hmm. So for people who don't know, what was our fundraiser? We
were raising money to give to the Red Cross for the all the wildfire relief.
Yeah.
Especially here in Nova Scotia, where we had a huge fire in the southern portion of the province that took an awful long time to get under control.
3 main blazes. The one in Shelburne was the most massive in all of history, but there was one even close to Dartmouth and Halifax area.
Close to Halifax, and there were people evacuated and houses that were lost, and so we felt that we wanted to do something to contribute to the community, and we thank all of the people that did purchase yarn during June.
Yes.
But I think with half of Canada was on fire.
Yes, it's from all across Canada, and
there weren't quite as many people thinking about knitting last month.
I don't think so. So we did 10%.
Understandably so.
We did 10% of all yarn sales, and we don't have the final figures, but we will let you know when we go to donate that money, and we just want to thank everyone for contributing.
Thank you.
On that note, the majority of the fires were blazing in the Boreal forest. And those of you who are following us this year know that we have a Boreal collection inspired by the taiga, the Boreal forest that is across North America, parts of Scandinavia, Russia, Asia, and the importance it plays on the environment. So
and the environment is having havoc wreaked on it. So of course, we like to encourage people doing the best they can as far as being environmentally friendly, which includes the fact that we have all natural yarn bases dyed with all natural yarn, all natural dye, and the other yarns that we offer are all, the majority are GOT certified, which is Global Organic Textile Standard. It's a certification that encompasses quite a few different aspects of the final product, including the way that sheep are raised, cellulose fibers are grown, the environmental impact of the process on the yarn, and the resulting yarn still being pure fiber and organic, but it also encompasses all the people that work in the from start to finish to be getting a fair wage.
It's like fair trade coffee, but fair trade yarn.
Yeah. And there's a lot involved in yarn.
Mm-hmm. So, but I wanted to talk about the collection a little bit more.
Okay.
Because the yarn that it's on is really important too.
Yeah.
But I've been trying to tie each of the colorways, if not in complete color, in spirit, then to their equivalent. And I'm going to remove that one because it's not part of the collection. But it is, we're going to talk about it a little bit more. Every time I do, I upload to Instagram, usually with a picture showing off how, say for elderberries, I should have had a picture of elderberries, but I know that when we, in the beginning with red fox, in comparison to a red fox, and sort of we've gone through the vegetation, the waterways, the animals and species and how they all interact and why they're so important.
And we'll continue to pull out different aspects of the Boreal to point out not only what those aspects are about, but how those areas are being impacted by global warming.
Right. And to that note, because you asked me last time what is the importance or what's the significance, and there's too much to talk about, and it feel a little bit like a lecture, so I did up a blog post explaining it and showcasing certain yarns and why we have them, and going through the whole thing to give everyone a little sense of...
And that's on the website.
It is on the website. It's under the More tab, the Boreal collection. If you go there, it's a wonderful write-up that explains everything, but it also incorporates the yarn. And it does talk about the climate crisis, but also about the efforts made in restoration and
sustainability.
Yeah, so that's pretty exciting. And on that note, we are actually coming out with 2 new colorways for the Boreal collection.
Yeah.
They are going to be on pre-order starting this Wednesday. And this is, you named this one.
Yes.
Athabasca Sand Dunes. And I
didn't know, in the middle of the country, there's a huge area of sand dunes, which is gorgeous, the pictures. Mm-hmm. And the sand dunes, and then the blue sky behind. And so this is the color that I created to show that.
Yes. And we've been releasing new colors. It started with a series of 5 and then an additional 5. And we're sort of going to trickle out more and more colors to the Boreal collection throughout the year. We had not planned on doing that originally. But I think the fires sort of inspired us to continue with this collection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the sand dunes, I'm going to do it with comparison photo because I cannot believe how pink those sand dunes are.
Yeah, it's really...
And the blue of the water and the sky around them, it's a perfect fit. And then this one has got to be one of my favorites. You want to talk about it?
You go for it.
Well, Aurora Borealis, we've done a colorway similar before, but it's just...
the Northern Lights.
Northern Lights, right?
And that's the hemisphere that the Boreal forest is in.
Exactly. So, and the best places you can see them are in northern Canada, Alaska, Scandinavia. So it's perfect. And there are shades of green and teal and purple and blue, that vibrant sort of limey green that plays out across the sky. So,
and a lot of the areas that Jasmine has written up about cannot be, there are no roads that go there. You've got to go in by plane or boat or portage.
How cool is that?
Yeah, it's like Algonquin.
We're really lucky to live in some of the, close to some of the most beautiful places in the world, and for some of us, right in the heart of it.
So the one was you could only get in by seaplane, and I forget where.
That was Wabakimi.
Wabakimi, and I think that it's not that much different for the sand dunes.
Same thing, yeah.
Yeah, and you have to carry everything in, carry everything back out. Mm-hmm. So.
And speaking of carrying everything in and everything back out, I want to say hello to Jenny Macron is joining us, and she has to boat every which way to her house on an island, so she knows all about that.
Yeah.
Hi. And hello to my grandmother Irene, who says that she loves the pottery and the yarn bag. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about that yarn bag. You created some more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is that one of the new ones?
It is one of the new ones.
I can't even tell anymore.
But I had so many projects that I wanted to show off. It is one of the new ones.
Yes.
That I actually popped one of my projects in here so that I had some way to keep it on the table with me. But the best part is it matches Everything is Love. This is the third dye lot that's out now. Can start ordering that online as well.
Yes. So that's pretty good. That's all that stuff out of the way.
We did it.
How's your coffee?
It's great. It tastes even better in this mug.
It's a bubble glazed mug, which is
Bubblicious. Yeah, I think
it's not an easy technique. I think it's actually something that Amy really
has developed.
Yes. And so this plate, look at this. Is this a platter or is it a dinner plate?
It's hard to tell.
It's nice and big. Great if you're having corn on the cob or lobster.
Oh, lobster dinner on there.
Yeah.
It's the Lobster Fest this weekend. We might actually head down for a lobster dinner tonight.
We might.
We are open currently, though I
If
know
you
a
get
lot
here
of
and the
people are
doors-
down watching the regala.
Yeah. If you get here and the door is locked, please ring the bell because...
I doubt that they're going to be watching and also here at the same time.
Okay.
But, but don't worry, we won't be interrupted. We locked the door.
We're open, but we've locked them out.
Then we have a doorbell. Okay. Now that we're open Sundays, that makes Sunday Sip and Stitch a little difficult.
Yes.
We're thinking maybe for the summer we pre-record and upload episodes.
I think that what we didn't include, and we're not used to doing yet with being new to YouTube, is saying that we would really appreciate if you subscribed to our YouTube channel and what is the other, and hit the bell so that you get notifications when there's new videos.
Mm-hmm.
And that will probably also be helpful during the time that we have our Knitalong, because we'll be posting some shorter videos with hints and things regarding the patterns.
Yeah. We're taking it up a notch. We're trying to incorporate what used to be our Facebook Lives into a YouTube channel. And I don't know if we're doing it quite right, but we're having fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody else that's on YouTube has this little blurb that they go and subscribe. And
comment, like, share, and subscribe. It means so much to us, and it's free for you. I have the blurb down pat. She's like, I don't know what I'm telling you to do, but do it. Hello to Joanne. As you guys log on, send us a hello, a little hi. I know we're a bit late.
Oh, you know what else we have to show is this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we're late. We had to drive to a farm to collect some.
Yes,
of our
we
food
are
vegetables.
part of a, is it farm share program?
It is a farm share.
Farm share program. There's a lot of small farmers here in Nova Scotia, and farmers markets are a huge thing, which is wonderful. And we have joined a farm share with one of the, it's called Way to Grow Gardens. We actually went out to the farm today. It's a magnificent view from their farm over the ocean, but the work and the beauty of just seeing the hoop houses and all the vegetables growing.
They've only been there 4 years, we learned, so that every year they're expanding. Last year they put in a pond, you were saying.
Yeah.
So it's amazing to see all the work they've done, and their veggies are massive and they look so good.
And we were leaving, and
Priscilla.
she says, wait, and she runs back in and she grabbed us a bouquet of flowers, because they are also now selling flowers at the New Glasgow Farmers Market, and they're at Lismore
Community Hall. So we're so lucky.
Yeah.
And if you're local, definitely sign up for the box. And if you're not local here, look and see if there's something at your farmer's market or
right.
some way in which you can support local farmers. And yeah.
Because what happens with the farm share is you pay for part of your share in 2 installments over the winter and spring, and that allows the farmers to develop the crops and bring in the seeds they need and do the new thing, like expand on their farm. It helps them with that, and then that way you've got more variety coming in your weekly or bi-weekly hamper, which is,
So all good all around. But that is why we're a little delayed today, getting things going. And we wanted to definitely, shout out to Way to Grow Gardens and shout out to Wabi Scotia Pottery. But we have to talk about what's on our needles. That's part of our
You want to
podcast.
talk about what's on your needles, or do you want to talk about the Knitalong first?
I
So
want to
people
show
can
off
ask
what's on my needles.
Okay.
Because I've got so much going, and then the last one I show off is going to lead into that because
All
it's
right.
the
Okay.
sauce.
Good. Go.
Okay, well, I've got to put my stitch stoppers back on. And actually, one of those little bowls is going to be perfect for keeping them in while I
So
knit and stitch and talk. And
I love having a little pottery thing. Like when you're going to use stitch markers and you need to have them all sitting on the table beside you, it's nice to have a little dish like this. So we will look at potentially figuring out about making something like that available in our shop as well.
Right. So I wanted to show off, I am knitting the tulip top and a little bit further back from the camera today. I'll share links to everything in the show notes, which can be found in the description underneath the YouTube video, which we are posting this afternoon for those watching live. And it's this beautiful tank top.
I don't think they're going to be able to see that. You're going to have to.
Yeah, I'll just describe it a little bit. It starts bottom up, knit in the round.
I can get up and show it.
I'm working with our naturally dyed 100% linen. So it's very soft to the touch and it's already starting to drape lovely. And there is, thank you Mom, down a little lower. There you go. Thank you.
That's the front.
So it has this panel that runs along the inner edge of the straps down your back in the perfect sort of V line. There is the option to create sleeves, though I'm going to have it sleeveless. And the front is just all in stocking net stitch. The difficult part of this, of course, is that because I'm working on a chart for the lace in the center there of the back, I have to start at the bottom and knit my way up. And that's so difficult because you don't get to try it on. And it's sort of like a guessing game. You're measuring yourself, you're deciding if you want to do a couple more rounds of the pattern. And if you're like me and you have other things on the go, you're slow going. So I'm about a third of the way up my tank top before I'm going to split for the sleeves. I'm
actually quite impressed with how far she's gotten, considering all the other things that you're working on.
And I know you cannot see the pattern from this far away, but yeah, I have to get closer. I'm going to bring it with me to show off.
Let's put this over
Thank
here.
you. That's my little pottery bowl. They are available in store. Local potter being Denise
Martin Lynch.
Yep,
Yeah.
from Martin Ceramics. Ooh, I've got my needle through my lace. Let me fix that. Okay. There we go. I don't know if it's showing off, so it's hard to hold this when it's getting caught on itself. There we go. Sorry, guys. All right, here we are.
I think that's
I
gorgeous.
wonder if you can see. I'll put my hand behind it.
That's
starting to get a little bit defined there in the tulip stitch. And I'm loving it. I think it's going to really look nice once blocked.
And Jasmine is working with the Honest yarn we have from Maewa.
I love the name. Honest to God, I love the name.
It's naturally dyed, and it's 100% organic linen. So, and it is a fingering weight, but it looks like it's lace weight almost. And we actually took the skein and washed it with wool soak prior to winding it into a ball because it's relaxed it a little bit.
But it plumps up every time you do that.
Yes.
Right? So
yeah,
right
and it'll
now,
drape more and more.
Right
also.
now it's looking a little bit sheer. If I hold it up, you'll see a little bit sheer. But every time I wash it, the fiber, because it's twisted so tight, it's going to loosen up and sort of plump out. So I think that I'm going to get away with not having to wear a cami underneath because that would ruin the effect, I think, for me.
Unless the cami's pretty much the same color.
Well, yeah. Yes.
I think it could look nice with a cami, but
I just don't want to lose the lace. You know what I mean?
Right.
I want that to really pop.
Yeah.
So that I mentioned I started it last Sip and Stitch, and I apologize, I've been busy. Ooh, bag. But inside the bag, we have this new, it's called Cotton Soft Candy Yarn. So cotton candy, basically.
DK.
A DK white cotton. You want to talk a little bit more about it?
This is 100% cotton, and it's 210 meters, it says, for 100 grams. So it's giving you the same yardage as fingering weight, but it is definitely thicker than fingering weight. And it feels really nice. It's just got little tiny bits and bobs of the contrast color in it. I'm going to stand up and show you.
It's available online. You can see it there. There is
We've got 3 different colors available.
Blossom, Key Lime, and this one is called Spice. And it's because it has just this
Just
tiny
a hint of some peaches and blues in it.
Yeah.
So
Very nice. It's subtle, and you can see that in the knit.
And you know, the pattern that Jasmine is knitting, it has been in the top 20 pretty much steady for the last 3 or 4 years.
So we needed a sample for the store.
Yes.
And of course, you start looking, okay, what can be knit for the summer in a nice DK weight that is a lovely pattern people are going to like.
Right.
And do you know what you come up with?
Ranunculus. Jasmine actually learned how to knit by knitting a ranunculus.
It was my first ever knit.
Yeah, and the first one was holding a strand of mohair and a strand of fingering together. And we should have brought that out, but oh well.
Well, I'll bring it out when I wear it in the winter, eh?
Yeah, but with no mohair and a little bit thicker yarn, it's gorgeous.
So I have just finished the second ball. I want them to see it on me, the length so far. I've just finished the second ball. Of course, I haven't blocked it, and I'm knitting it so it's going to be nice and loose and drapey. And I think with 3 skeins, I'm not only going to get like a full-length shirt, but I've already finished off the sleeves. So
oh yeah, because you just cast them off when you, instead of putting them on a holder, you cast them off. So they're just like a little cap sleeve.
They're going to be a bit fluttery because we did this extra stretchy bind off. So I'm going to block them flat, obviously, but it rolls a little bit when you do a stocking knit and just a bind off. So it's going to be a little bit fluttery. I think it's going to be really sweet.
Cute for summer.
I'll come around and show off the pattern, which really, the stitch pattern really shows off in the yoke with this yarn.
Oh, excuse me.
Okay, here we
Yeah,
are.
it's here somewhere.
As you can see,
There we go. Okay.
there's this lovely flower motif as well. It's really a simple stitch repetition.
But look at the way the yarn flex.
Yeah, and it's a little bit more defined than in my ranunculus that I did with the mohair. You lose some of that yoke pattern in that, I think.
Yeah.
And the best part is,
if you've done a ranunculus, you don't need to buy a pattern.
that is good too. I was going to say, each skein is only $9. So the whole thing...
They're under $30.
For a nice fast, because I only did this in 1 month, and I have multiple projects on the go. Nice fast summer knit. I think most people who knit a little faster than me have it done in no time.
Yeah.
Put it back in the bag.
I think it'd be interesting to see what it would be like knitting a ranunculus, because what needle are you on?
I'm on a 6.
So you could even do it in an Aran weight
6 millimeters.
and get a really thick, cool sweater.
Yes. Oh yeah. It's meant to be used for all different weights, they say. You can, as long as you get the gauge, you can have the go-ahead.
Isn't that amazing for a pattern to do that? I think the other pattern that does that is Love Note from Tin Can Knit.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull up the other pattern I'm about to show off because it is one of the patterns for our Knitalong.
Summer of Socks.
And when does that begin?
Next Wednesday?
This coming Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yes.
The 12th.
We're going until Labor Day.
Yes, because we've decided that it's too hot to knit things that sit on your lap. Socks will have to be it. And I think that most people agree. I think some people, well, shawls are a thing in the summer, but socks definitely.
You know, you don't want to be lugging a big bag with you everywhere in the summer. You've probably got enough with the beach bag, the tote, if you've got kids lugging their stuff around.
So a bag this size.
And also, it's too hot to have anything heavy and wool in your lap.
Exactly.
So, tiny, tiny project. The first pattern for the summer of socks that we recommend is the fondant socks. I'll show them off here where they are in different colors. I chose to do a gradient, and I'm holding them like this because they're not quite done, guys, and they're 2 at a time. toe up.
So, and they're still on the needle.
Well, they're toe up. You don't have to do them two at a time. I just did that and they're still on the needle. So this is as much as you can see.
But that's all 4 colors now, right? 'Cause
yes.
It's a very buttery yellow to start, a bright yellow, then this variegated, which looks an awful lot like, what do we call that? Oh, we didn't name it. It was
So Van Gogh.
So Van Gogh. And then a blue, green with white. So
we call that one sea glass because there's so many,
Yeah, but it's similar to what we have in the large skeins called wetlands.
And because it is a gradient in the mini set, it just looks like I've blended from one to the other. The pattern notes online choose 4 distinctly different colors. I apologize. I'll bring it a little bit closer.
And while you're there, you can show off some of the gradient sets. Now, the main idea, of course, for the our Facebook group, the Year of Adventurous Knitting, is to have all our Advent people, and hopefully it's already Advent calendar, but if you've got an Advent calendar from someone else, we are happy that you're joining us.
Yes.
And we do have
Let me
some
set this down. We have some
mini sets that are available as well for people that do not have Advent minis. And our minis are 25 grams as opposed to 20 grams. So you for sure can make any size sock, any length leg, because this is equivalent to 100 grams. Whereas if you're using 4 20-gram minis, then you don't have as much yarn to play with.
And the fondant socks call for 4 25-gram skeins.
Oh, it doesn't?
So
I
it's
didn't
perfect.
realize.
And if you zoom in, when you open it on your Ravelry, you'll see that there's this lovely mock cable edging on either side of the front of the instep. And it also, once you get past the Flegel heel, which is a nifty little trick that if you haven't done it before, you get to learn on this pattern, it carries up the back side as well of the leg. So
straight up the back.
Yeah, along this edge, right on the underside. Like it stops when you get to the heel.
Cool.
So it's they're really fun to knit. I'm so glad that I'm doing them.
I think that for the Knitalong, I may do a pair.
Of these ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's also other patterns that we suggest.
Yes.
And more that we'll put out there, like the sprocket socks.
Yes, the sprocket. Oh yeah, I was going to knit sprocket socks. Oh my God, I've got a list. I'm telling you, I would love to
I'm
knit.
going to come show them off. And thank you everyone for all the lovely comments on the bag and the projects we've been showing off.
And there's actually another pattern that I haven't even had a chance to, I don't think, show you, but there's a sweater, socks, a hat, and a shawl, all that kind of split the colors.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that a little more once I have it in front of me. But this right here, these are the sprocket socks. And you might remember this this pattern from the sweater that Andrea knit as part of the spring sweater knit along. Yeah. So they would use also, you could get away with a set of 4 minis. Again, if you don't have them from the Advent calendar, we have plenty in stock.
Yes.
And the last one I'm going to show off so I don't have to sit down and come back.
Is the heart ones?
The shorty socks set.
Oh yes, those shorty sock set, which I'm still working on the first pair, but
we forgive ourselves though because
I knit a couple other things in between.
We've been busy. So the shorty sock set is 3 different sock patterns, meant either as ankle socks or with just a little bit of ruffle for the summer months.
One
for
has
people,
an arch support.
For people who want to knit socks, but like in the summer want to knit socks that they can enjoy in the evening without feeling like they have
winter woolies.
Yeah, they're winter woolies. And they're fun, like gradients, which are going to be great to use with minis. They call for only 3 of our 25-gram minis. I really like the ruffle on this one. You can get away.
I just did this one because I used 3 minis.
Yeah, that one. Let me see if I can show off the one that you are working on. This one. That's what you're working on right now. Show off your sock.
Right here.
Gorgeous.
Here.
No.
Let's see, you can show it closer.
Oh, sorry. Missed opportunity.
Yes. but you've seen, I think if you've been following us, you've seen this a couple of times in our videos. And I am on the second sock, and here's the yarn that I have left. So from the 3 minis, and I'm almost finished the second sock, I have all this left. I may be able to incorporate some of this into my next sock.
Which is why we're saying that if you grab just a mini set with 4 skeins, you can probably knock out a couple socks in this sock set collection.
Yeah.
The parameters around the ballots and how we're going to work the knit-along will be announced Wednesday when we do a short little video introducing and kicking off the whole thing. But basically, every finished object deserves a ballot, and every post to social media... Every pair, sorry. Yes. Good note.
Yes.
And every post to social media tagging us with the hashtag also Summer of Socks is another ballot.
Yes. And of course, everyone is welcome to join us. We really do encourage people using up their stash, or if you've got an advent from somewhere else, please do join us when you run out of yarn and you continue to knit with us. We have yarn available. But
yeah.
But we do think it's important not to add to landfills and therefore knit from stash. So we encourage that, and the primary focus of the sock knit-along is minis, but we also have 50-gram skeins of sock yarn, so you can make mix and match socks. You can incorporate minis with a solid color, and with socks being a smaller knit and the knit-along going for a couple of months, we're encouraging to, we're going to see who knits the most pairs of socks. That
would be exciting, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the winner deserves yet another ballot.
Right. So everybody can join us, and those of you that are knitting with our yarn, will be the ones whose ballots go into the draw.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And on that note, Oma says that mitts would work as well.
Yep.
But not for this knit-along, unfortunately. Good point, Oma, because July is Christmas in July.
Exactly.
So
and
you could start your winter knitting. But also, our advent calendar
is
now available for pre-order this July.
And the way that we do shipping on our website is there's going to be free shipping on the advent calendar.
Across Canada, yeah.
Yeah. And up until the end of July, because it is Christmas in July, we have decided that if you use coupon code...
Mary, like Merry Christmas, not like Mary Had a Little Lamb.
You will, and that's only good on the advent calendar,
Only
right?
good for the advent calendar.
Then you will get how many percent off? 10?
10% off.
Yes.
So on a large purchase like that, that's actually almost a whopping $30 off.
That's pretty good. And
good, yeah.
At the same time...
And free shipping.
Yes. So that's quite a bit off, actually, because it ends up being quite a big box. You get 25 packages of 25-gram mini, and on the Advent Sundays and Christmas, you get an extra included. And there's this year we've made the main skein, the full skein, an option.
It's going to be a mystery.
Yes.
We don't ever know if it's going to be tonal, variegated, maybe speckled, the nature wrap.
Well, we don't know that about the minis or anything. That's what an advent calendar is. Right.
So you're really taking your chances on the advent, but I swear to God, it's going to pay off.
You're going to love it. Do you have your extras still?
My extras?
From the advent calendar? You want to show them?
I don't have them.
Oh.
You're talking about like the little ornament, the tea.
No, I'm talking about the minis.
Oh, the extra minis from, yes, because I've been knitting with my own advent calendar in our knit-alongs this year. I have a few. Let me go into my living room and
because
grab them.
The year of adventurous knitting was, the premise behind it is we didn't include a pattern, so you weren't actually obligated to any one thing. And so the year of adventurous knitting, this is our third knit-along we are starting now, to incorporate minis in the knit so that you not only have something to knit with your advent calendar, but you have a social group that you can do it with. And so
we hope that you're enjoying the year.
Yeah, we'd love some feedback on that because we're not sure if we should do that again.
I think it would be really fun if we could get people to go in the advent calendar this year knowing that we were all going to knit again next year.
Yeah, that would be
I mean,
cool.
you get to opt in and out of the knit-alongs.
Yeah,
but...
and we also like do Zoom socials, and locally we have a knit night that we do here. Having said that, they're suspended for the summer. We're going to be randomly doing them.
Random pop-ups.
Yeah, pop-up
outdoor
knit-along.
venues. Yeah.
And there'll be random, sort of semi-random Zoom socials for the knit-along.
Yeah, well, I'm going to announce a schedule for them and send out links to the people who have clicked going on the Facebook group, or if they're not on Facebook, you can access all the event information on our website under events, and you can send us a contact us submission form also through the website to let us know you're going to be participating, and I'll let you know how you can join us for those. So these are the colors I have left. I saved this, it's sort of a gradient of this, raspberry red color with gray.
So Jasmine still has her reds that go into a gray.
It's like the Cosmo you used on your sweater.
Yes, except a bit different. It's deeper.
Yes. And then I also have some browns left because I haven't found a mood yet to use these earth tones, I should call them.
Well, you used some in the one.
Yeah. They're sort of speckled skeins as well. They've got a little bit of red in there too, so I can see some cross contamination maybe going to happen between these two. And then I've got some joyful spring tones left in indigo blue and a soft purple.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, those could go in there because you've got gray.
Yeah.
So you could transition over.
I don't see these all working together. I feel like I'm going to pull from our yarn vault some other combinations, incorporating maybe the 50-gram skeins depending on what our next knit-along is going to be.
That's a great idea.
And that way you're not using too much yarn.
And you know what? I've got a basket of just what I have left over from the minis and the main skeins that I used on the other projects. Mm-hmm. And so that way I can use everything as I need more colors, options, or more yarn for a project.
Exactly. We had Rodney join us. He says, hello, neighbor. He's on Wellsford Street. So here in Victo. Hi. Thanks for joining us. I'm not sure if you're a knitter or a crocheter or getting into fiber art at all, but we are here.
Yeah, nice for you to join us. Thanks.
So that takes care of the knit-along starting this Wednesday, July 12th.
Yeah. But you've got lots of time, so if you're just finding out about it now and you'd like to join us, we'd be more than happy to send the yarn out to you. Or you can come in on later today or on Wednesday to pick up yarn if you're local.
If you're on the website and you have any questions, you don't know what goes, you can't find something, there's a little messenger button, a blue messenger icon in the bottom right corner. You click on that and you connect with us through Facebook Messenger right away. Would you respond to that really well?
We've been having, the odd person's had a couple of issues entering their phone number in the final stages of ordering.
I would suggest using a cell phone because I think
cell phone number,
and just make sure you have no spaces or dashes. If the cell phone number does not match your credit card and that's the issue, let us know. We'll figure out how to process that, okay?
Yeah, because we may need to do
that. It's only happened twice now, but it's not a big deal. We got a handle on that.
All the little things you get, all the little bridges you cross after you've developed yet another website, eh, Jasmine?
Yes. Jasmine. But no, it's good even when the feedback is not good. It is good to hear about things so that I can work through any little bumps along the way. Yeah. Well, I'm knitting from my skein of Honest Yarn, knitting my tulip top, and we have talked about pottery. I put my skein in this yarn bowl created by local Denise Potter Denise Lynch. Did we already mention it?
Yes.
Okay, well they are
But it's
available.
okay. We've won a lot of beautiful pottery, but we have pottery yarn bowls in the shop developed by another really fantastic potter that's local to the Pictou area, and she is part of Creative Pictou County. She's on the board for that, actually. And Denise does wonderful work. She has developed the yarn bowls. We have the first ones in the series that she started.
Because it's a little bit different than what she normally makes. So
yeah.
We're very lucky to have that in shop. And you can view them online. And if you want them sent out to you, we can work out shipping and packaging. Just let us know.
But if you're on your way over here, you've got to see them in person, because the
I chose the one that I think you're in love with the most.
It's a gorgeous color glaze, because of the subtle differences in tone, and it's got a crackle effect, and then it's got extra splatters on it. It's kind of like the way I love to dye yarn.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's just gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks almost
I like it. We have a
ancient architecture in places. Like, I don't know.
Well, she definitely puts her own twist on her work.
Yeah.
She has, you can view her work on her website. She has, I want to say, a whimsical way to it. You know how she's always doing these curlicues and extra little bits that are influenced by
her grandmother.
And heirloom pieces.
Yes. So she throws pottery. She also does molded pottery, sheet pottery molded. What do you call that? When it's rolled out and manipulated and
seamed and like flat. Yeah.
So which is really cool. But she also she molds some of her things to have embellishments on her pieces, which is rather cool.
And comparing the two potters is not fair. We're not comparing them.
No, we're not comparing at all.
We're just taking delight in their two different artistic approaches.
Yeah, because I've loved pottery for forever, and the difference from one potter to the next can be delightfully different. Like, yeah. So, but it's still pottery, and I love it. So, like, this has got waves and
I feel
color.
like that really suits the vibe I was going for in this room, too.
Yes. And this is more, a little bit more, totally different. It can be looked at some pieces are quite, earthy, and yet this reminds me of ancient architecture, like ruins. Yes.
The different strata, even when you're digging down in the earth.
Right.
We see it a little differently. I see what you mean.
Because Jasmine really studied archaeology and stuff. So there's all these different ways of interpreting art, because it is also an art form, right? Whereas we see ocean and waves, and someone that I know saw a skyline with pines in the snow. So
each person,
it just goes to show you that this is a very versatile mug, because it can be used in the heat as a beachy mug and in the winter as a snowy mug. So, which I found really cool.
Everyone interprets arts differently, though, and I think that's true for the patterns. We all sort of make them our own a little bit.
Yeah.
Right?
And we do that with color. We do that with texture. These socks have got a gradient. You can do it with stark contrasts. The ranunculus that Jasmine is knitting now with a cotton with flex gives a totally different look to the sweater than holding a mohair with a fingering, as opposed to my suggestion of using a chunkier yarn.
Which is a completely different look.
Yeah, so you're going to get all completely different looks. Just like working with your minis in a stripe pattern can be different. Jasmine saw a watermelon in this.
Yeah, I was almost a little sad that there wasn't a vibrant pink instead of the gray, because I thought it looks just like a summer watermelon. And that's seen even in our hand-dyed yarn. So this is the third dye lot of Everything is Love. And you can't tell unless it's held up with the first dye lot, but it's a little bit softer.
Yes.
Not lighter, it's still very vibrant, but the colors almost feel muted when compared with the first. And every
Do you want
dialogue
me
is
to grab
different.
one? There's one laying over
I see it. I'll grab it. You won't
Okay.
go on and talk
All right,
about that.
yeah. I love this colorway. It's a lot more work than our other dye lot, our other yarns, because there are so many different colors incorporated in this. So I have to cook down multiple colored botanical items, and then putting them together and watching the colors kind of blend.
Mm-hmm.
And because they all need to be heated and like simmered, cooked, yeah. And then like the colors kind of run together, and it's a surprise at the end, sort of when you open the lid to the pot and see what you've got, because it sort of changes a little bit with the heat too.
Right. Well, and it might have been just a slightly different concentration.
Right.
Of certain things, and the pH of the water sometimes changes every day in town.
Yeah,
That
that's the other thing, yeah.
But that's the wonderful thing about natural dyeing, and what I was going to say about the third dye lot of Everything is Love is that it is...
I thought I was making the same thing.
It is the same thing, but it is for those who are just as proud, but not quite as loud. There we go.
Yeah, and this one is spoken for, Barb.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry.
Don't worry, Barb, it's yours.
Yeah. Because this one was more vibrant, and I can't decide which one I like better.
I like them both, and they're the same when you look at them. They have the same colors, and they're just a little bit.
I think that if you got one of each and you were going to knit, I think that when you do that with any other colorway from any other dyer, you usually tend to stripe them, which would look really cool with this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It also lends to doing a gradient if you want it to look as if it is
fading.
Mm-hmm.
That's another really good idea.
Barb, oh, is that mine? Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, yes.
How do we have one left over from the first dye lot? Well, people choose the ones that they like, and so when the second dye lot came out, we have the new bistro set outside now, so people take the yarn if they really want to and compare it in direct sunlight, and they chose multiple skeins for a project, and it's just so ended up happening that's...
Yeah, I think there's 3 left of the original.
No, the one of the original, and the others are of the second dye lot.
Oh, okay. See, so...
Yeah. Don't worry, though, when you're ordering your yarn online,
sometimes
we do compare and we make sure you get the same dye lot.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And,
put that back on my shelf. Barb.
I'm going to make myself something, Barb. No.
With hers?
Yeah, I've never gotten to knit with this before, so.
Oh, no. All right. So
you're going to love this, Barb.
I think that pretty much sums it up. We wanted to get on here and pay homage to a couple of local businesses and artisans. But most importantly, we needed to talk about Christmas in July and the Advent calendar.
Yes. And the other thing, other than, of course, the Summer of Socks, there will be another Knitalong in the fall to incorporate the remaining minis, or at least as many as we can. Mm-hmm. And then you can start knitting with the new Advent calendar. Right? Yeah. We now have a thing we've partnered with Afterpay, and we know that an Advent calendar is a larger purchase than sock yarn, for example. So how does Afterpay work?
Well, they split the payment up into 4 equal payments spread over 6 weeks, and there's no interest for you. That's worked out between us and Afterpay, so that you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, you don't have to pay all at once, all up front. It just uses your card details, and it is a recurring payment once every 2 weeks until it's paid off.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully that is a bit of help because we're all kind of watching what's happening, right? And with the price soaring in the grocery store all the time.
And I just think, It might be just that extra little temptation that you don't need, but you definitely get, if you need a sweater quantity of something, or you're buying for someone else for Christmas and you want to really make an impression, but just budgeting. Yeah, so anyway, it doesn't matter, but that is now available. And Wednesday, 2 big things are happening. We're kicking off our Knitalong, so make sure you register as going for every single day of the event.
Yeah, because every week there's another event, because Facebook doesn't let you do like a stretch.
You don't have to. You don't have to click going to all of them. I was
But
just kind of being.
there could be another ballot.
I was just being a bit like, and then also on Wednesday we're releasing 2 new colorways for pre-order. They are coming out of the pots now and being banded and such. So you won't have to wait long once you pre-order them. They'll hit the mail just as soon as we can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's just some back work that still needs.
And again, those 2 new ones were Athabasca sand dunes, and I've got a lot to say about this when I post it, and Aurora Borealis, which is just a natural northern hemisphere phenomenon. I don't think they go together, but they are lovely.
They could.
Yes, okay, I spoke
They
too
could
soon.
actually go
I
together.
spoke too soon. You just use this as the bridge, right?
Yeah.
The third dialogue of Everything is Love
That's
blends the 2.
It's amazing how our yarns actually go together so often.
When we don't even mean to.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Anyway.
that's us for today. Everything, all the patterns we mentioned, the coupon codes, the events, it's all going to be in the show notes. I'm going to post this just as soon as I can.
How's that little blurb? If you like what you see.
Please subscribe, like, and share. It's free for you, and...
It means so much to us.
Okay.
I hate these cliche things.
No, we don't. And on that note, be natural.
Be you.
Bye.
Bye.